And we have a new segment that we're going to be starting. It's called Questions and Answers.
Q&A with Clay.
Q&A with Clay. I got it. Okay, so with that, let's get right into the questions. And here we go. Bonnie's Corner asked, what is freezer camp?
Freezer camp's kind of a running joke with Ruthie and myself. Instead of going out and saying we're going to go butcher the chickens today, or we're going to go butcher the turkeys, they're all going to end up in the freezer anyhow. So we call it freezer camp. I've been calling it freezer camp for years, but she never heard of the term, so we use freezer camp as kind of a running joke between the two of us. We call the freezer camp Camp Admiral Byrd. Now, for those that don't know who Admiral Byrd was, Admiral Byrd was the first man to fly over the Antarctic and map the Antarctic. So it's kind of a running joke between the two of us. It's when we're going to butcher.
Okay, the next question comes from the Big King family asks, is that a big turkey?
Gunther's pretty good size for his breed. Now, you have two types of turkeys. You have heritage breed and you have the broad-breasted breed. Heritage breed are the smaller turkeys, more for a homestead. They can breed on their own. They have to hatch their own babies, and you can continue to breed heritage breed turkeys. They don't get as big. The hens are about 12 pounds to 10 to 12 pounds. The toms are anywhere from probably about 14 to 20 pounds, depending on how fast they grow. Broad-breasted are more what you're acquainted with if you're not from a farm. Broad-breasted are broad-breasted white or broad-breasted bronze, and they're the size of the ones you get at the grocery store, which are about 20 to 30 pound turkeys.
Okay, Ruthie Popel asked, which this is a question that I had asked Clay a long time ago when I was raising bunnies, and I've seen several YouTubers ask this question through time. My question is twofold. My rabbits are laying their babies on the wire, and how can I prevent my new mother rabbit from eating her babies?
All right, for the first part of the question is, make sure you have a nest box. Now, you're thinking nest box, it's not a chicken. No, nest boxes are probably about 18 inches long to 22 inches long, and they slope with a little board on the top so that the female, the doe, can set up on the top and watch over her babies. Just because you don't see her feeding her babies doesn't mean she's not taking care of them. She'll pull hair out of her breast and make a nest with some straw and hay in the box, and she'll cover the babies up with the hay to keep them warm while she's out of the box. If she's had them on a wire, you need a box. Now, for the second part of the question, why is she eating her babies? Rabbits are not just vegetarians. They need protein too. So if you've got a problem with rabbits eating her young, a day or two before she has her babies, if you breed them, you schedule anywhere from 28 to 30 days is when she's going to have her babies. Just about day 26, 27, take 2 strips of raw bacon, give them to the rabbit before she has her babies, before she pulls her hair out to make a nest. Give her 2 strips of raw bacon. She'll eat that raw bacon and she won't be interested in eating her babies.
Okay.
And they normally only do that on their first litter, but if they continue to do it, they're not getting the protein they need.
If they continue to do it, should you get rid of the bunny?
I would take that bunny to freezer camp and get yourself a new doe.
Okay. My Lazy Day Garden asked, and it's a little bit long, but I want you to get the picture here. It says, I planted an American hazelnut I got from a native nursery in my state about 2 years ago. Sorry about that, guys. In my backyard, my question is, do I have 2 of them to let me read this over.
To cross-pollinate.
Wait. Let me read this over real quick. Sorry, guys. It's me here, stumbling over my words. I planted an American hazelnut I got from a native nursery in my state about 2 years ago. In my backyard is where she planted it. Okay, my question is, do I have to have 2 of them to pollinate? Some sites say you have to have 2, and some say you have to have 1.
That's your question? All right,
That's the question.
let's go into... Hazelnuts are pollinated by the wind. They're not pollinated by bees or any other insect. I say yes, you need more than 1. I've never have heard of anybody having just 1 and having it produce nuts, because they get little catkins in the fall and they hold them catkins throughout the winter, and then in the spring those catkins expand and open up, and the wind blows the pollen from one bush to another. So the more bushes you have, the better chances of having hazelnuts. On the other hand, people are saying, well, just get the filberts and they're a larger nut. True, but hazelnuts are a native plant. They're from in the US. The nuts may be smaller, but they're resistant to a lot of the tree diseases that filberts would have. Filberts are usually grown in the European states or nations. So yes, if you can find another American hazelnut, plant it probably 10 feet from your other one, and within about 3 to 4 years you'll start receiving a harvest.
Now, I want to bring this in because I didn't know this when I first saw the hazelnuts. What is a catkin?
A catkin is a little, it's long and narrow, looks like a little mouse or squirrel tail or something. It's just a tiny thing, and they're hanging all over the bush. And you'll start seeing those in the fall, and when the leaves on the hazelnut turn pink and red and fall off, you'll see the catkins on the hazelnuts.
Okay, now Scrap Dog and Grandma Sandy both had the same question.
Okay.
Can I grow hazelnuts from the grocery store?
If they are called hazelnuts, yes, I'm sure you can, because they're not roasted, they're dried. If they're filberts and you're from the European area, yes, you could probably grow them from the grocery store too. The thing to do is to take the hazelnuts, take a pan full of soil, maybe about 2 inches deep, put the hazelnuts on top and just kind of push them down so that they don't roll all over the place. And then set them out where the squirrels can't get them, or maybe put a wire over the top of them to keep cats and things out of the dirt. And by spring those hazelnuts will split and you'll see a little white root coming out of them. Then you can plant them in your planters or wherever, but put the root down and the shell will split off, and your little within a few weeks your hazelnut bush will start.
Okay, now guys, with that, I just want to let you know that we read every single comment. We appreciate the things that you ask and say to us. We don't take them lightly. You guys are our family. If you have questions, anything at all about farming or anything in life in general.
Anything that we do.
Anything that we would feel that our family can help you with, please leave those comments below or in any of our videos. We read every comment, so if you have a question, we'll have Clay answer them in a video, if possible, as many as he can. And like I said, that we feel that everybody would be interested in.
And we don't do this. We won't be doing this every week. We'll be doing it as we feel that we need to
as we have time,
answer a bunch of the questions.
Right. So we'll just, I just have a running list of questions, and that way Clay can answer. But let me just throw this out to you all. When I first met Clay, I had been a businesswoman, and Clay knew a ton. He's been farming. His parents have been farming.
Backyard farming.
Well, yeah. So basically, he's raised cows, chickens, everything. So now's the chance to ask the old-time farmers that've been doing it for generations.
Backyard
questions
farmers.
you have.
Farmers are people with tractors and plow fields, plant corn in it. I did it when I worked for one of the neighboring farms, but I didn't do it on my dad's backyard farm. We had horses and goats and
But you know
a
what?
heifer and but we
But you know the
went out.
country way, so they might have
We went out.
questions.
Yes, I
So you're gonna ask Clay, 'cause he
every
might
now
have
and then you'll hear me
questions.
say something like, "We got rain coming. The maple leaves are turned up," and
Right.
things like that.
So yeah, take advantage of what I'm saying is take
Not saying I'm
advantage.
knowledgeable about everything, but I'll try to answer as many questions as I
Well,
can,
I just-
as honestly as I can.
I just want to encourage you to take advantage because he's been involved with the rural community for generations. So has his parents. So Clay might know stuff just from living out in their rural community. So anyway, like, subscribe, and we look forward to watching all of your videos because that's pretty much what we do all day.
In
Love
the
you.
evening, we don't do it all day. During the
Well, I
day,
do when I'm cooking.
during the day we're doing things around the
yeah,
house.
well, we're
but-
working too. But I
but
mean,
once we get done at like 4 o'clock and call it an afternoon, we'll watch YouTube videos and things of the
well,
people
I watch
we
YouTubes
enjoy.
all day. Well, I'm
You
cleaning
have
and
housework
working.
to do all day.
I do. Well, I'm cleaning. I'm watching videos. So he's laughing at me.
We just like to share some of what we know with you, so you don't make some of the mistakes that we have maybe in the past.
You mean
or-
like the time I said to the Amish girl, "How do you cook a rooster?" Thinking that being homemade. She laughed at it. She goes, "Ruthie, I buy them at the store." She goes,
we do the same thing.
Mennonite girl. That was John's wife.
Instead of putting in a monster garden, we put in whatever you can't get
Cheaper.
at the store or the auction.
Yeah.
We go to the food auctions,
yeah.
and we pick up a lot of our vegetables from there. There's no sense me putting in, say, cucumbers when
You can get it for.
I can get a whole basket or a bushel of cucumbers for a couple of dollars.
That's what the farmers do. They don't.
Yeah,
they don't
they
grow
don't all
up.
go,
They're
they don't
not-
all go out and
They're not.
raise all their own vegetables.
No. You can
Take
never-
up their time raising vegetables when they could raise meat.
They're doing other things. So we're just want to show you, so feel free to ask us any questions. It's like where the rubber hits the road. This is what the guys for generations, like I said, like that Mennonite girl's laughing. It's like really, I get it for 70 cents at the Bob's Big Ham Chicken. Why am I, some things you do if it's cheaper, if it's fun, but some things, like things like this. Okay, guys, love ya, and remember, big or small.
You too can be a backyard farmer.